Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Tracy Hardell and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. Welcome! I am so glad to be your instructor and to be able to spend the next 16 weeks with you. So, first of all, this is going to be a great course. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but I think we'll be able to share some really good experiences. So I want to make sure, first of all, that you have read the announcements for week one. There's quite a few of them, but this information is really critical as there's a lot of different things in this course, being as it's kind of a synthesis course. So please go ahead and read all of those. It's information that you're really going to need for the course. All right. In that same vein, please make sure that you continue to read all announcements, all the videos that I post, and all the regular posts that I put in the main forum and in the questions to the instructor forum, because if I post it, that means you're responsible for knowing it. So please take a look at anything that I put up. All right. So in this course, even though you're all in the master's program with an emphasis in nursing education, there are really three types of nurse educators that we might find in this course, or three types that people are shooting for. And so we've got the academic nurse educator, who's going to be in a college of nursing of some sort. We've got the clinical nurse educator, who's usually going to be practicing in some type of healthcare facility. And then we have the student who really wants to focus in on patient education, either at the bedside or in a particular clinical specialty. I'm going to try very hard to incorporate those three perspectives in this course. But if you see me getting off track and focusing a little too much on the academic part, just ask me about the other aspects. I do have some experience in all three of those, and I really do want to highlight those throughout the course. Okay, let's look at this week's DQ. Facilitating learning. So this is teaching. That's the crux of it. So I think everyone will have a lot to say about this DQ. Couple things I want to have you look at, though. If you look at the actual discussion question, there's several questions being asked of you. How are you meeting, or how you will meet this competency in your practicum? So I want you to think about where you're going to be doing your practicum. You know, is it in the online? Is it on ground? Is it in a hospital? You know, and how are you going to be meeting these competencies? When you look in your Halstead book, there's a whole list of components of each competency. How are you going to go about addressing those in your practicum setting? And then it asks, are the behaviors that you have not thought about but need to include in your teaching repertoire? And in pretty much every set of components of each competency, there's going to be something in there you didn't think of as it relates to teaching. So bring that out in your DQ response. And then, if this competency is something that you won't have an opportunity to complete in your practicum, for instance, one of the competencies has to do with designing curriculum. Well, you're probably not going to have a chance to really design curriculum. You might design a lesson plan, but probably not designing curriculum. So if you're not going to have a chance to fulfill one of the competencies during your practicum, write something about, when I graduate as a such and such, this is how I think I will be able to meet this competency. So read carefully your DQs and answer all the different questions that are associated with each DQ. So on the topic of facilitating learning, when I first started teaching, old school method, the instructor was the sage on the stage, and I was imparting information to my blank slate students. That is very, very far from my current philosophy of nursing education. I am wholeheartedly a believer in active learning strategies, and that teaching and learning is a two-way process. So when I think about teaching individuals, I try to put myself in the place of the student and try to think, how best can I help that student learning this material, this content, this way of thinking, not how can I best teach it? And that often results in using active learning strategies in the classroom. But it's just that little bit of different change of perspective that can help you better meet the student needs. And so I have included 3 articles attached to this post. One is about using gaming in the classroom, one's about using concept mapping in the classroom, and then if you go full bore active learning strategies in your teaching, what are some of the challenges of having an active teaching classroom? So I've included those 3 articles. If you'd like to read them and respond to them substantively, that will be included in your participation for this week. The other thing with these videos, you will see that as I move slightly, often the way the camera picks up and goes dark and light, that's one of those things I have yet to figure out how to correct. So I apologize for that, but hopefully connecting with me kinda in person will have more pros than cons. Anyway, I am very excited to be working with you. Really look forward to getting to know all of you better. And it's going to be 16 weeks, so we might as well have fun. All right, see you in the main forum.